doubts are part of being human. And if you're not doubting yourself, you're not challenging yourself either. Doubt is your mind telling you, to think about the things you need to think about anyway, right? Like the doubt is there for a reason. It's a self-preservation mechanism. And you need to use that doubt to put the thoughts into your mind to visualize the successful outcome.
If you're really frustrated or sad or worried or depressed, or you think something horrible's happened, my favorite question to ask myself is, what else could this mean? And I make myself come up with at least 3 different meanings. Because what happens is beliefs become self-fulfilling. See, once you believe something, you don't see anything else. I've done this with your audience before. I said, look around the room and find brown. Everybody looks around. And I say, now with your eyes closed, tell me you saw that was red. And nobody sees much red. And I say, open your eyes, look for red. And they find more red. Why do you find more red? Because you get what you look for. Your beliefs condition you to find. And then I say, how many saw, I said, you even saw things that weren't there. How many saw beige stuff, called it brown just to feel successful? And they all laugh. How many saw burgundy and called it red? They all laugh. And the reason is because once we're after something, we'll even make the color different to feel successful. If you think somebody's mean, you'll find meanness in them if it's not there. If you think somebody's your dear friend and they do something terrible, you'll say, oh, they're having a bad day. So our beliefs control us. So unquestioned beliefs that produce stress, those are the ones you've got to question.
It doesn't matter if It really doesn't matter if the world believes in us. If we don't learn to believe in ourselves, we may not create the results we want. But on the flip side, what is cool, it doesn't matter if the world's against us. If we learn to overcome it and believe in ourselves, we can do some amazing things. So there's a combination that once you take the action, you still have to learn to believe. And when we have that negative script constantly running, I think it's hard to overcome ourselves with that identity. And your inability to think in a way that serves you. You're thinking in a way and believing a way that discredits all the hard work you've done. You are being the worst critic when other people are like, you're amazing. You got this. We believe in you. But we have to learn how to overcome our own negative self-critic. And I think that's a hard thing to do. And they usually don't teach us how to do this in school, or our parents may not teach us unless they have that skill. When we do all the hard work and we still say, no, I'm not good enough, or I don't know if I can do it, then why are you working so hard? Just go be lazy.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one, man, because we know the strategies that got us here, wherever here is, even if it's step 2, right, or step 2000, we know that the strategies that got us here were probably paying very close attention to every small element of whatever practice it is that we're doing. We're scrutinizing our game tape, we're listening back to the podcast, we're looking at the traffic on the website, we're getting other people to read our article, whatever it is that we do, right? Whatever the thing is that you do, you scrutinize it, and you use a lot of cognitive effort to look at it. And the problem is that that same degree of scrutiny applied over a long enough time doesn't actually end up facilitating performance past a certain point. Yeah. And this is why I think that the tools that got you here won't get you there is a really interesting way to look at this stuff.
Life does not cease from challenging you. And that doesn't change even if you awaken spiritually. You will get other challenges, different kinds of challenges. The only difference is, as you awaken spiritually, the way in which you respond to the challenges changes. And that is all important. How you confront the challenges of life, how you react to or respond to the challenges of life determines how you experience your life. How you experience your life ultimately is not determined by what happens to you, because most people think that that's the case, but how you experience your life, or what you call your life, is ultimately not determined by what happens to you. It is determined by how you respond to what happens to you. And how you respond to what happens to you determines what happens in the so-called future. How you respond now. Some people, whenever they are challenged by life, they behave as if there was something very wrong with their life, that things are not supposed to go wrong or be challenging. This is not supposed to happen. And this works on both a small scale and large scale. And you might have met people, and perhaps you were one of those people in the past, people who are continuously complaining about things. They're continuously not in alignment, continuously out of alignment with whatever is going on around them, situations and people and places and events. Either something is there that shouldn't be there, something is happening right now that should not be happening, or something is not happening that should be happening, or I should be somewhere else but I'm here, and that's a huge problem.
The fact of the matter is, there is no such thing as a life without problems. There is no such thing as just being happy and go lucky and everything working out for the best all the fucking time. If you're gonna make it through this life, you have to deal with problems. In fact, I would say life itself is a process of dealing with problems or upgrading our problems from really bad problems to slightly better problems. Therefore, you could say that the quality of our lives very much hinges on our ability to manage problems. This course is all about teaching you strategies, techniques, ideas, concepts that will help you deal with various amounts of pain in your life, how to get through problems, how to deal with grief and loss, basically how to be a more resilient person. Now, I would like to start the course off by teaching you two different metaphors that I think are going to be useful and that we're going to return to again and again throughout the course. The first metaphor comes from Buddhism, and I talk about it in my book, Everything is Fucked, a book about hope. Now, the Buddha had this beautiful metaphor about pain. He said that pain is like being struck by an arrow. It actually strikes you twice. The first strike is the actual physical strike, the pain of the arrow piercing your skin and causing you to bleed and everything. But the second pain is the meaning that we create around the arrow strike. It's the person who got hit by the arrow saying, "Why me? Why did I deserve this? I'm a good person. That guy's an asshole. Fuck him. I shouldn't have to be dealing with this." It's the psychological pain that comes along with being struck by the physical pain.
You've lived a life dominated by doubt and fear. How do you step into bravery? Step. That's how you step into bravery. Step. Take the step. Step aggressively towards your fear. And that step towards your fear is the step into bravery. Because we're scared of what we don't know. And there is only one way to learn and to know, and that is to confront that fear. You have to step, you have to go. And this simple action, this simple attitude, it answers so many questions.
So, like a lot of times, if your back is hurting, it may not be your fucking back. For me, I'm like, man, why can't I get past this fucking hurdle? So like I said, I'm always examining myself every day. What is it? What is it? Well, there's only one thing you haven't examined yet, and it's going back to the beast, going back to the demon.